I'm muted. Oh, well, my name is Savannah Norm. I'm not sure when I'm muted, so I'm going to see if we can't cut that out of the YouTube recording. But hopefully you have found us through Twitch or YouTube or searching in general for something to do with Redis. I usually start off my streams with telling you guys what I plan to do for the day. So we'll get started with that. Today's goal is pretty simple. It is attempt to have fun exploring async/await. Pretty much my plan for today is to start up a new fast. Sorry, my cat just jumped into my lap and he kind of missed. So I got some little claws in my leg there. This is the offender, but we're fine. It's all good. Off to a really strong start for this Friday afternoon stream. If you're not familiar with my streams, I usually actually stream on Tuesdays, but I have been a little under the weather this week. So I pushed it to today, hoping that I would be feeling a bit better, and I am. So with this off to a strong start stream, we're just going to start writing some code. We're going to use a little bit of fast API and going to attempt to have some fun. So I'm going to just start off with a brand new file. It's going to be called async testing.py. Actually, hold on, cancel that. What I'm going to do instead is go to my desktop, my Git projects. I'm just going to touch async testing.py. If you're not familiar, touch basically just like creates a file but doesn't actually put anything in it, but it means that I can now go here and open my file. It's just an easy way, in my opinion, to sort of put files where you want them in file structure without like creating a whole new directory, without sort of getting into the nitty-gritty of like, trying to figure out like a bunch of file structure or anything like that before you just start working on it. Especially since VS Code doesn't have a particularly simple way to create like a new directory or anything. So using that touch command from the command line just sort of lets you put a file wherever you want it. So we're just gonna start working. Why not? Is it like fast API? Okay, hold on. Let's close this. Open that. Is it still mad at me? Strong starts. So this should be in desktop projects, and it's right there. Okay, cool. Yeah. So we'll activate my Python environment. Oh, but I don't have to do the back because it's right there. So bin activate. Cool. And, more strong starts. We're going to open up my little fast weather app just so that I can make sure. Okay, so, that's the wrong thing. This is going so swimmingly because I didn't make it its own directory. It means that it doesn't really know what I'm doing. So from fast API, import fast API. Cool. Off to the best start. We also need to import Redis. We will be using Redis today. I am a developer advocate at Redis. So what we're going to be using them for is pretty much my plan is to start off with fast API, have two little browser windows open, and just do some gets and some sets and some increments and see what happens when we add some asynchronicity there and wait for some things and not for other things and see what values we're getting returned and how all that plays out. This is sort of like a fun exploration into asynchronous Python. hopefully, at least. That's why the goal is attempt to have fun. So we'll have a root page. I like the little hello world root page. I think it's kind of fun. And then we'll just sort of start doing things. And it'll be, let's see. So this is one of the things that I'm much more used to Flask, where you put arguments in like in here with like stuff like that. But that's not how Fast API works. You have to do this little number. So we'll just do a /set, and then it'll be def set val. And here I need to put, okay, so I'm going to have a val, and that's short for value. So val, it'll be a string for now. And we'll set it equal to foo. It's not defined. Stir. It's a stir, not a string. That's cool. And so then when we have that value to set, then we can just do a little bit of r.set. I guess we also need a key. So val, it's usually key comma value. So we'll do key first. It will also be a string, and it will be equal to, actually, yeah, let's do this is foo. And then our value will be bar. So when we do that, we'll do r.set foo bar. Okay, cool. So that's simple enough, but what we really are going to need is not this app, but what we're really going to need is something else that I worked on with, oh man, am I going to keep doing this? That's okay. I needed this line. And man, I'm really just all over the place with this file structure today. Open async testing. Okay, so that's cool. We will also need import async.io, since that's a big part of what I'm hoping to explore today. We'll also need a main. And that main, yeah, okay, cool. So we'll do an async def main, and it will, I guess we need to actually do something here, don't we? Which like makes sense. I guess we'll set a value, and we'll do foo bar, what is it? Buzz, as. That seems easy enough to start. And then the next question is how to run Fast API. This is something I've Googled multiple times on stream now, because it's this unicorn thing and which arguments are which that I forget. Okay, it's definitely this part. So I think main is the function, and then like this app is this app. So, nope, okay. Well then, let's first activate my Python environment. And py, then activate. Not import module main. Okay, well, strongest start I've had to a stream yet. I promise at some point I will seem like I know what I'm doing. Unicorn main app. I thought that's all I had to do because I have a main function and then I've got my app is called app. So that should be what I need. Testing it. Let's jump down to testing. After starting the API successfully. Oh, well, you didn't tell me how to start it. Without further ado, let's dive into writing, define an object. Okay, cool. So that's, main :app, where main refers to the Python file name. Okay, so that's what it is. File, save as, main.py. Okay. Nope, just kidding. Do I have autosave on? Yes. That would do it because I'm not in that spot. Okay, now we got it. We're getting places. We've got a hello world. And if I run /set, ooh, internal server error. That's okay. It's probably because I didn't return anything. Get connection error. Oh, the connection was refused. Well, that's not what I was expecting to see. Do I have a Redis instance running? You know what? I don't think I do. I was playing around with some questions on our Discord server earlier today and trying to figure out how to answer some of them. So I deleted all of my Docker containers. So let me go pull up the run Redis stack on Docker file or web page, and we'll pop that over here. And in Docker, we'll now see our Redis stack image. Cool. Okay, so let's just kill that and start it up again. And hit refresh. Cool. No, so that's just like we didn't return anything. But if I go over here and do Redis-CLI and I get foo, I get back bar, which is exactly what we expect. It's perfect. And I bet if I get buzz, oh, there's nothing there. Okay, interesting. So this hasn't actually like happened yet. I guess because like this fast API, the way it works, the way it starts doesn't actually run this main function, which I wasn't expecting. And real quick, I'm going to close the door to my office. Okay. So this main function doesn't like get run apparently, which is good to know. So this didn't happen. And I know that because that main function should have set the value buzz to Baz. And when I tried to get buzz, I got no. There's nothing there. So, okay, like that's good to know. See, we're learning. We're just learning fast API things today. So we'll add, let's add like a, and this actually, yeah, this should be key and val. That way, if I do actually put those arguments into the URL, then, you know, we get like the actual thing that the user inputted, user being me. And we're going to set those values and then sleep. I think I can just do sleep, right? Import sleep. Nope. Okay. And I accidentally moved that doc over, which is one of, excuse me, I got the hiccups. One of my biggest complaints about my Mac is that dock sometimes moves and I can't control it all the time. So Python sleep. Oh, import time. Okay, cool. Time.sleep. Let's go like 5 seconds. And then we're going to return. We're going to do an x equals that. And we're going to return x. So this x will just be like a 0 or a 1, depending on whether or not like this set was successful. I don't think it's on reload. So actually, let's kill this and run it with the -- reload. We get hello world. Perfect. We do a -set. -set. Oh, okay. I was oh, well, there is that sleep. True. Okay, there we go. So like that's a perfect example of how that sleep works. It did not return us that value immediately, but it did eventually return it. So cool. So we're going to use that, and we're going to sort of use that premise to get a little bit more into the async stuff. Hopefully, at least. So we'll do an app. Oh, why did I call that? Oh, because app.get / get def get val. Oh, and these all, I want all of these to be async. We'll keep foo as our default key to return. Y equals r dot get key. Return y. Okay, so if we do /get, we get bar. That's perfect. So now what I want to know is stuff like if let's write like a app.get. I need something that's going to do like multiple things. So let's call it multi. And I don't know all that it's going to do yet, but we're going to do an async def multi. And I want to do something like, I'm going to do something like await set val with, let's do my name. We'll go key is sav, values Nora. That's my name. So we're going to await that. Yeah, okay. So let's add. Okay. So what I want to try and do is have 2 windows where one of them is going to be this multi, and one of them is going to be get, and then we're going to add the question mark key equals sav. And I think that's the right syntax. Nope. Okay. Well, maybe. So if I do this and do this, did that not? Nope. Okay. Well, /multi. Enter. Cool. Do this. Okay, cool. See, so I got Norm back here immediately with this get. And up here, I bet it eventually, oh, hold on, I don't actually have this. Okay. So v for value equals that. Return v. But now this value is already going to be there, which like doesn't actually really matter for this purpose. So, but for the sake of argument, I am going to change it. What's just like an easy, like, okay, we'll go hello world. So our key will be hello. And here I'm just going to hit refresh, and I'm going to hit refresh. Nope, that did not work. Key equals hello. We got world, we got true. That would be because this is returning the true false and not the value. Let's go by world. By world. So we'll have these two windows open, and our key will change to by, and we'll hit this one, and we'll hit this one. Oh, I should have made it a different thing, because now you can't really tell when that one changed. Okay, that was silly. We'll set the value car to Ford. I drive a Ford. And then we'll open back up these and change this to car. And we'll hit enter. It's null. We'll refresh this, and then we'll hit that. And we'll see when they change. They changed at the exact same time. Okay, cool. So why? Well, I guess because they're both called, well, this one should be using this. So I was under the impression that like this should happen. I guess I'm not using that X anymore, but that's fine. It doesn't really matter. It shouldn't change anything. So I was under the impression that this would get set, and then this get would immediately be able to return that value. So I thought, why does my doc bar keep moving? I thought that this set would happen, and then it would go to sleep for those 5 seconds. But in this window, I would be able to get that value immediately. But apparently not, because these two windows are changing at the exact same time, which is interesting. So let's make this longer, just to make sure. And we'll change this to, we'll just change this value. We'll change it to a Kia. That way we can see like that the values here change. So we'll hit refresh here and refresh here. And I think they're still going to change at the same time. Interesting. Okay, well, we're learning. So why would it do that? Ooh, async, await that sleep. Interesting. Okay. Await async IO. Sleep. Sleep is blocking the whole app. That makes sense. I guess I was just like hoping that I could have something here that would like artificially be like a long, like strenuous task for the computer to do. Subaru. this stinking dock bar. Okay, so now let's try this and this. Okay, cool. Yeah, that worked perfectly. Thank you. There we go. I wish I knew. I wish I was, what's that word? It's not precognition. It's like, I don't know. I wish I could read minds. I wish I knew everything. My older sister has a Subaru. I want a Subaru one day. But for now, I have a Ford. And now I'm just like going through cars that people that I know have and other things like that. But yes, so this did that perfectly. I want to do it again, just to show it off again. What's another car? Mazda. So when I run this multi and this get, this one immediately comes back, and only this window does that wait. And now I set it for 10 seconds. Yeah, there we go. And now it's a Mazda. Perfect. Cool. Okay. So what happens if oh, that's why I wanted to make it a little bit longer. So this 10 seconds is going to give me time to change that value. So I'm going to change this to, we'll just change it back to Kia. As long as it's different, it doesn't really matter that I've done it before. So what I'm going to do is run that multi, and then I'm going to set the value to something else. Actually, let's make this. Okay, so this is like our /set. I want to also make an get /fast set. Fast set. So this is basically, it's going to be the exact same thing, except it's not going to have that sleep. It's just not going to have the sleep in it. We're going to have setting that key value pair still. Okay, so my idea is if I run this multi where I'm awaiting this set value and it sleeps for 10 seconds, and then I also have this fast set, I want to know what happens when I ask for, let's make this car, and we'll make it bar. We'll have a car bar. And that will make it so that all I have to do is hit fast set in the other one, and then we'll see sort of like what value remains. So fast set. And then over here, I'll hit this and I'll hit this. So now what's going to be here? Is it going to be bar, or is it going to be, well, no, because I'm returning that value. It's Kia. Okay, but is that because I returned? It's probably because I returned that. I didn't actually return. So let's instead return our .get key. And we'll do the same thing here just to make sure that there's not just make sure that that's not our big distinction in time. We'll do those r.gets just to see. Okay, and so now I need to change these values, and we'll make this Baz, and we'll make this back to Ford. Okay, so this multi is going to set it to Ford, and it's going to sleep. And in the meantime, I'm going to call this fast set. And we're going to see, so this r.get for that key, this should return Baz. And I think it will. So we're going to hit that, and we're going to hit that. So we've got Baz here, and here we're waiting Baz. There we go. So this is like a clear example of asynchronous programming and how, like, if you were just running this multi-command and you tried to set your value car to Ford, but a bunch of stuff happens before you get that value back, you might get a different value back, which is super cool. And also like a very important like programming concept as far as knowing when your values are changing, when they're being updated, all that fun stuff. Yeah. So now instead of some sets and gets, I want to start doing some increments and decrements. I think that could also be really interesting to see why, or like the order that these things are going to happen. So we'll go slash anchor by async def inc for, inc for increase. And we'll have a key. It's a str. We're going to call it count because we're boring. And actually, that's not even going to be an option. So I don't need to put it there. It's going to go in our actual function. But what is going to be an option is going to be we'll go val still because we're going to increment it by a certain value. That's going to be an integer, and its default is going to be 1. And then we'll do a c equals r dot what data structure do I need to just like increment a little thing? I think I can do like we'll do a sorted set. Yeah, so we'll do r dot z add, and our key will be count, and our mapping will be, we need another thing for this though, because this count is going to be the name of our sorted set. And then we're going to have something else. I just don't want like a single number, but that's okay. We'll call it test. And then our increment. Nope, our val. Yeah. Okay, so that mapping is like that, I think. I'm not 100% sure about that one. So what I'm going to do is pop over here, import Redis, r equals Redis dot Redis, r dot z add count test 1. I don't think that's going to work. Okay, so instead, list has no attribute items. Is it a dictionary? Yes, okay. So in case you were curious about that, one of my favorite ways to test like what exactly the mapping is, because so if you noticed here, when I do r.z add and start doing things, it has like mapping, and then it's got brackets that make me think it might be a list, but I don't really think it's a list. So I tried it, it didn't work. But for things like that, I love popping into my Python interpreter and just being able to be like, was it this? Is it this? And you get that immediate feedback instead of having to like run it and try it and see. It's just very handy for things like that, in my opinion. Yeah, and then we'll return C for now. And yeah, we'll try that for now. Anchor by. No, okay. I wasn't expecting that to be no. I was expecting at least like a 1 or a 0 to say like that it did it successfully. So we're going to go to redis.io/commands and look at these sorted set commands. What does it return? I guess it doesn't return anything. I don't have anything about a return value. So, if the key exists but does not hold a sorted set, so that's when you get like, if I try to do a Z add on something that's like a time series, it's going to be like, that's not right. That's the wrong data type. CH modify the return value from the number of new elements added. No, normally the return value of Z add only counts the number of new elements added. An integer reply, specifically when used without optional arguments, the number of elements added to the sorted set. Okay, so I was definitely expecting like a 0 or a 1 there. So I'm going to look in Redis Insight and see what our value is. We've got count and we've got test and it's at 1. If I run this increby, does this change? No, it totally should. It definitely should. So why is that not happening? If I do it over here, if I run this again, I got a 0 there because nothing got updated. Oh, okay. So adds all specified members with the specified scores. If a specified member is already a member of the sorted set, the score is updated. So when I run this Z add on the same thing, this element should get updated, I would have thought. Z add count test 1. Our key is count. I don't want to I just want to do the score member next. Okay. So do I have to provide any of these arguments? A list of options. Okay, we'll go XX because I do want to update existing elements. Here, let's just like do this guy and this guy. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I want this guy. Okay, so Z add count. XX, we're updating elements. Only update existing elements if the new score is less or greater. I really don't care though. So we'll just go greater than. And then when this option is specified, Z add acts like Z increby. Okay, oh, okay. So it's not that this score is added, it's that this score is updated. So when I tell it, yep. Yeah, I should have looked at my comments sooner. Meth figured it out before I did where I was going wrong. Okay, so I want the inker option. So if I do Z count inker test 1, oh. Well, I was expecting that one to work. Ziad, count 15. Score is first, then member name. Oh, why? Score. Oh, I thought for some. So, okay. Here it says score underscore member. Like this. I don't know how well you guys can see that. But this score underscore member had me thinking that it was the member I was adding a score to. So that's confusing. Help is messing with me. Yes. Help is messing with me. Help is not helping. Help is confusing. Okay, so Ziad, count, inker, and then our score is 1 and our member is test. There we go. And now we've got 2. Okay. Cool. Cool. There we go. So now when we come back here, I should be able to do inker equals true. And then when we run, where's my other window? Oh, it's down here. Now when we run this, we get 3. Perfect. Okay, cool. So we'll have an inker by, and then have an inker by slow. And this one, I wish there was like an easy way to be like, make this do a lot of work, but that's okay. We're just gonna keep with our async io.sleep because that only makes this one sleep. And we're gonna have it sleep for 5 seconds. And then we're gonna have get decker by, and it's gonna be basically the same thing. I need to make this ink slow. And we'll have deck and is there redis.io/commands for my sorted set. Is there a decker by? Can I subtract? Can I add a negative? I think I can probably add a negative, but let's find out. r.z add count test :-1. Okay, cool. Maybe we got a 0, but I'm not sure. Nope, I need to add inker equals true. -2. That doesn't seem right. Okay, now we're at -1. If I do -1 again, now we're at -2. Okay, so I had just like already done that. I guess. Yeah, I had already done that. Maybe? I don't know how we jumped down to -2. But it seems like it works. So that's all that really matters. So we just have to make sure these are negatives. And then we'll do the same thing, but we'll make a decker by slow, not x slow, slow. And add our async io.sleep for 5 seconds. Oh, I did. I set it to -1. Man, that's I feel, well, I was about to be like, I feel like they should say that really clearly, but they do say that really clearly. I just keep forgetting. I could add the option to only update elements, or I just need to remember to add the inker option. But you're right, makes sense. So this first one, set it to -1. But this option, when I don't have the inker equals true, this response is just like whether or not something new was added. And because nothing new was added, I still got a 0 back. But then as soon as I added the anchor equals true, it now returns the value of this thing now that it's been changed, which I think is like a little bit confusing because I didn't explicitly change the return method, even though like there's this other thing to modify the return value. And like it doesn't specify here that if you add the anchor option, it'll change the return value. So I'm actually going to make a note of that real quick because I feel like that should be highlighted. Anchor on Z add changes return value. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of confusing, but that's just me. I wasn't expecting it. So now if I run anchor by, we're at -1. And I know how to use those commands now. I'm never going to need them again, I'm sure. And then we're going to go decker by, what did I call it? Decker by _ slow. So I'm going to hit this one and then this one. Oh man, I keep forgetting that to do that, I have to go decker by slow and hit enter and then anchor by there. Okay, so we've got -1 over here and 0 over here. Are either of you going to change? Nope, neither of you are changing. So let's see what my actual value is. Let's hit refresh over here. It's 0. But this decker by, because it was slow, and because I'm returning C, it's going to only ever return -1. So what I want is not to return C. I want to return, I want the score. Z-score. Return r.z-score from count of guest. And that's what I'm going to want to return everywhere. Okay. So now if I hit refresh and refresh, that didn't feel very slow to me. I'm going to add an underscore here for consistency's sake, but that did not feel very slow. That did not feel like it waited 5 seconds. Is it going to change again? Because now I'm returning the same thing. And like, yeah, at different points. That's the point. Decker by slow. See, that feels like it's not waiting. That doesn't feel like it's sleeping for very long. Oh, wait, there we go. Runtime warning. Coroutine sleep was never awaited. Okay. So why? Interesting. Because here I await that function call. Oh, and I have the await there. I just forgot that I needed it because with time.sleep, you don't need it. Oh, wait. Okay. Now if what's the shortcut for refresh, I wonder? And now we're both at -1. That still didn't feel very slow. That still doesn't feel like a 5-second sleep. Okay, now it does. And then because we decremented it slowly and incremented it at the same time, we're at the same thing. So I did, let's add the fact that you can't actually do these values. So if I do a decr by slow and go $val equals -10 and hit that and hit this. Over here, it's already -10. And now we're at -10 over there. Because it would have hit -11, or sorry, no, it would have hit 0 with my anchor by, and then subtracted 10 more with the slow decr by. So even though this, yeah, so if this happens first though, and then I do this, and this one's just going to be, this is just stale data now. And if I hit refresh, we get -18, which makes sense. And now this is the stale data. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, let's, what if I do something silly, not silly, but like, I'm going to hit refresh over here, and then I'm going to, oh, that was the wrong window. And then I'm going to hit, okay, so I got up to -17. So if I do, let's just do -1. I'm going to hit this one, and then I'm going to hit this one as many times as I can. Okay, so this one is, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. So shouldn't I use all Redis commands with await to make your functions completely non-blocking? Yes, if that was my goal. If that's your goal, then absolutely. So I can do all of those things. I mean, I could await this one, and I could also await this one. Let's add them. Let's add an await everywhere. Can I return an await? Yeah, I've done that already. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Cool. I don't think that should practically change how I don't think that should change anything. Immediately gets an internal server error. Object float can't be used in await expression. Interesting. So I think to do that, because this should be in the slow decr by, because I called it first. I think. I'm assuming. But it's hard because like the z add, like I'm adding negative values. So I'm assuming though that this was in the decr by since I called it first. Await dependent call. Object float can't be used in await expression. So, await at r.z score. Let's just Google this error. So because like r.z score isn't like defined as being asynchronous, I can't await it. So how do I get around that? If you want to get the result from common, that takes some considerable time. Call this function in another thread and await that result asynchronously. Call it in another process. Okay. So I could do that. And basically I would have to do like I'd have to do async def zadd. Yes, asyncio Redis. Async, there is a Redis async interface, which is confusing because if you look at like some of the older tutorials on things, you'll see it as like a separate thing, but it has since been like incorporated, and you can do redis.asyncio. Redis.async. Async. Yeah. And I think requires an explicit disconnect of the connection. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, and I think I can just then use it the same way though. Yeah, r.pipeline, all that stuff. Okay, cool. So it really is just, instead of import Redis, it's just import Redis.asyncio as Redis. And now, when I run these things, I shouldn't get an internal server error. And I should get some weird numbers. Yeah, okay, cool. It's all good. I love it. Okay, so we're awaiting everything. And yeah, so I feel like the cool thing is just being able to be like, if being able to define like what functions are important to wait on and which ones aren't. So like, hypothetically, this decker by slow, like I want to make sure that certain functions are as up to date as possible, which means that maybe I want to await certain things. So if, this really comes into play a lot more if you get into like what I was starting to do with the multi. So let's change this. And instead of this multi being like set val, it's going to be, we're going to await a ink slow with 10. And then I can do, let's see, can I return multiple values? Can I return a list of values? Like, can I just return like 2 things? So like, we'll go 1 equals this, 2 equals just ink with 5. And then 3 is going to be deck. Well, let's start there. And I want to return 1, 2. And like, that should give us the same value for both of those things. Oh no, never mind. Coroutine object is not iterable. Oh, I don't think I can return that. Can I return it as a list? Maybe. Nope. Var's argument must have a dictionary. Oh. Why am I? That's unexpected. Okay, well, we'll just make it a dictionary, and we'll just do 1:2. It doesn't really mean anything, like it's not really a key value pair, but I think it'll let me return it that way, so that's okay. No, it won't. Okay. Is it just because I'm using 1 and 2? Are 1 and 2 keywords? We'll go X and Y. They're probably not. I mean, they're showing up blue, so like they're definitely not keywords. But like I'm returning, let's see. So await ink slow. Ink slow with a value is going to return the z-score. Cool. So X should just be an integer. And then Y is ink with a value, and it is also just returning an integer. So why can't I return 2 integers? $500 internal server error. Why is this? I don't know why this is happening. I don't think I'm trying to force any. Well, I'm like forcing these things into a dictionary, but like those are just integers. It shouldn't matter. Let's Google fast API return multiple responses. Okay, can I do a JSON response? Return JSON response. From fast API.responses, import JSON response. A float, we think. I don't even know that it's these. I don't even know if it's what those values are. Int X, comma, int Y. Int argument must be a string, not coroutine. So this isn't. I don't think this is actually an integer yet. Okay, so what if I like print X? Can I do that? When I call multi, will it print over here before it gets me the error? Oh. Okay, so 72, because I've been calling this a bunch now. Excuse me. Got a little bit of a cough still. So x is 72. That makes sense. Int argument must be a string, not a coroutine. It's like, why does it think it's a coroutine? I don't know why it thinks it's a coroutine. But I'm going to try this suggestion. Stir x : y. And we're going to make it a dictionary. I don't think I need to leave it as a JSON response if I'm making it a dictionary. But I'm going to leave it in there for now. And if it yells at me, I'll take it away. X : y. Okay. Try it now. Nope. Object of type coroutine is not JSON serializable. Okay, well, maybe now it's because it's a JSON. But it's still saying that one of those objects is a coroutine. I guess let's add a print y. Runtime warning, coroutine inc was never awaited. I know. I'm intentionally not awaiting it. I want to see what happens. So let's see if I can get x and y printed over here. Okay, so y is a coroutine object. So because I'm not awaiting an asynchronous function, it doesn't know what to do with it yet. I feel like that should be more than a runtime warning. I feel like that should be a system breaking thing. Because, okay, so I think, if I'm correct here, do all async functions have to be awaited? Await is not required. Okay, well, the function starts executing. Hold on. The async function will return a promise. Okay, so I don't think this. Yep. Are you Googling the same things I am? Yeah, so it just returns a promise, which you can use later. But it says I can use it later. Oh, I have to await the promise though. Okay. I feel like this was a tease. Like, oh, you don't like. You can use the promise later, but you still have to await it. So no, you're not Googling the same things. You just know everything. That's cool. That's cool. I don't. Okay, so it seems like even if I don't await this thing, I have to then do await y. Okay. So now that I've awaited y, I think still an error though. I can use .then. Ooh, interesting. I don't know anything about .then. I am learning. So let's just Google Python async .then. Because I don't know how to Google for that keyword. Any more context to help me figure this one out? I'm down to try it. I just don't know what it means. Oh, yeah, that's fair. I don't know JavaScript. I'm a Python person through and through. Oh, wait, hold on. Equivalent of JavaScript then in Python. Oh, just await. The Python really looks blah, blah, blah. There is no equivalent. Would be with bar. Yeah, it's okay. Cool. Still getting a different error though. So my coroutine is still not iterable. Okay, so maybe I have to do like a z equals await y and then put z in there. Okay. But we got different values, which is cool. I mean, it's exactly what you expect because like I incremented this one by 5. But still. So, okay. I feel like that, yeah, this was, the answer is yes. Why do I need to await an async function when it's not supposedly returning a promise? I'm confused based on the documentation. Await should pause. It's returning a promise. Should I always call all of my functions with await? Seems like yes. There's no point on using await on anything that isn't a promise. Well, what wouldn't be a promise? Okay, so I guess the next question is, do all async functions return a promise? Async functions always return a promise. Okay. Do I teach? Just like this, I'm a developer advocate at Redis. So my job is making demo apps, doing stuff like this, sort of exploring these different things, and like also keeping up with like Redis.io and the commands and assisting on our Discord. So like I try to help people learn, but I do not formally teach. I would love to teach you guys something. I hope you learn things, but I don't formally teach. But I did schedule this for an hour and a half, and it is getting close to 4 o'clock on my Friday. So I'm going to say I had fun learning about async stuff. I learned about the redis.async.asyncio as Redis. That just makes it so that I can await all of my Redis commands. Like that was a super simple swap, which is great because like I want to not block on things. And I had fun hitting a lot of buttons and refreshing some values and seeing how quickly some things change and how slowly things change. Yeah. So I mentioned a Discord. If you have any questions about Redis or you want to suggest something that you think that we should do on a live stream, you are more than welcome and encouraged to come join our Discord. There is a, let me do this real quick. There is a Python specific Discord channel. I try to answer questions in there whenever I can, but we've also got an incredible community full of people that help answer questions whenever they're able to. Realistically, I think the community answers questions significantly more quickly just because there's people from all over the globe, so they're up at all hours of the day. I am in the Eastern US, so like my 9 to 5 is probably very different than your 9 to 5. So coming out on Discord, join our community and answer questions that you know the answer to, help share what you've learned about Redis, ask questions whenever you have them of us. Follow us on YouTube and you'll get notifications when we do live streams. I might delete this one because this one was not great. I was muted at the beginning. I messed up quite a few times at the beginning of this stream. But in general, all of our live streams are recorded and available on YouTube forever and ever. You can also follow us on Twitch, but that is ephemeral and you can only catch it live. There is no recordings on Twitch, which is blessed. Nice coffee stream. That's what I was going for. It's a Friday afternoon. We're hanging out, we're drinking coffee, we're learning a few little things. I learned about promises and that Python makes promises, which, I did not know before. In general, you can find our streaming schedule here at developer.redis.com/redis-live. If you check out our Twitch channel, you'll see that Savannah streams in Snake Case is usually on Tuesdays. So like it says Tuesday on our Redis live site. Some things like this, because I was sick this week and just sort of last minute pushed this stream to Friday. It didn't get updated there, but if you follow me on Twitter, if I can, well, it's this one. Hold on. Oh goodness, what have I done? It's this one. It's sav_norm. I usually tweet when I go live. And yeah, I hope you all have a lovely weekend. We are getting into the holidays, so streams might be a little less frequent and a little less regular. But next week in particular, I will be streaming every single day. Fellow developer advocate Justin Castilla and I will be streaming the JSON course. So if you have any interest in JSON, make sure to hit that like or subscribe on YouTube and Twitch, and you will get all those notifications. We'll just be running through that whole course together online, doing a little bit, probably some extra data exploration with that JSON. It's all about books. I know Simon has spent a decent amount of time making sure that that book list is cool and interesting. So come hang out next week. We will be starting at 2:30 every day, Eastern Time, Standard Time. Eastern Time, 2:30 p.m. All next week, Justin and I will be running through the JSON course. I think that's it. I made a note to myself to tell our docs team that anchor on z_add function doesn't say that it's going to change the return value, because that definitely threw me for a loop. So that's another great thing you can do on Discord. If you find something in our documentation that you're like, hey, this wasn't clear, I was expecting this, and this other thing happened, it's a great place to let us know. That way we can update our documentation and you can help prevent someone else from running into the same errors you do, or hitting their head on the wall the same way you did. Come help people out on Discord. Yeah, with that, have a great rest of your weekend. Bye.